When it comes to moonstone, we often think of the white stone, sometimes with shimmering rainbows of blues and other colors throughout the stone. But today we're going to explore another color of moonstone. Hello, I'm Adam Barralet and welcome to this Crystal Connections video where we are exploring peach moonstone. But before I get onto the peach moonstone, what other colors do we find moonstone in? Well, another popular one is our black moonstone, really great for new moon work, and you can check out my YouTube video on that one. Some of the rarer colors, green moonstone, which can be quite spectacular and a good one to find. Beautiful brown moonstone, grey moonstone. You may be lucky enough to have a piece of yellow moonstone, but the star of today is our beautiful peach moonstone. Now this has such a soft, gentle, nurturing energy and is really great for anyone who needs a bit of emotional support, emotional healing, or a bit of inner peace. And we're going to explore how you'd work particularly with peach moonstone in line with the moon, in line with your emotions, and many other different aspects as well in this video. So let's dive in and explore peach moonstone. Peach moonstone is great to use for particular aspects of our moon work. Now, normally I would work with a black moonstone in the dark moon, new moon phase of the moon. I would go for my white and my rainbow moonstone when the moon is full, but when the moon is waxing, so between the new growing up to the full moon, that is a really great time to reach for your peach moonstone. This is a time when we are think about what we want to manifest at the new moon, and then we're working towards and preparing ourselves for that magical work on the full moon. This 2 weeks of preparation of growing and nurturing, getting creative, thinking about how we can align with the energies of the universe to bring in what we want, by meditating each night with that peach moonstone can bring different ideas on meditations to do, maybe spell work that you do, magical workings, or on a practical level, people to reach out to start bringing these goals into manifestation as well. So anytime you want to work with that kind of growing energy, definitely reach for a peach moonstone. Now, because of its beautiful warming energy as well, summer, like late summer and autumnal full moons are really beautiful times to also work with this, even up through the full moon as well. But I also want to call out a certain group of people who I think this is a really beautiful stone for. Now, obviously we have our sun sign, and the sun sign talks about our general archetypal energy that we share and shine out with the world. And then we have our moon sign, and that is about our inner world, our emotional world. Now, if you have your moon sign in Cancer, or the moon is in Cancer, you will find that you can be, I guess, very much emotionally in tune, very much impacted by your emotions. You can be very intuitive, and sometimes the waves of emotions can get a little bit too much for you. Because of the peaceful energy of this stone, wearing it anytime, but especially around the full moon, or when you feel those emotions kind of waving up, or for women at certain times in their menstrual cycle when they find they become more emotional, this is a really nice one for just gently soothing and calming that energy and allowing you to ride the waves of your emotions, listen to the guidance of your emotions, but not drown in the waters of your emotions. There's a real comfort that you can feel when you're holding on to a peach moonstone or wearing it for a while, and it really helps to bring out your nurturing side. If you're feeling a little bit vulnerable, if you're feeling a little bit kind of beaten up by the world, then this is a really beautiful crystal to sit with, have around you, wear, to really start to feel that comfort. Now, if you are also trying to nurture something, maybe there's a goal that you're nurturing, maybe you're new to an environment, maybe a work environment or a new living arrangement, and you're trying to nurture those relationships, this can be a beautiful one to work with as well. Again, gritting it or bringing out those nurturing aspects of yourself. Now, in kind of cold places, things like maybe dental surgeries and, funeral homes and things where there can be a little bit of that kind of coldness, or you want to bring in a bit more nurturing energy, again, this is going to be absolutely beautiful for that. But anyone even who's going through a little bit of shyness and feeling uncomfortable, this will really help you to feel more comfortable in the skin you're in and in the situation you're in. On a deeper level, peach moonstone is going to be really beneficial for healing any mother issues, any trauma or anything that goes through between a mother and a child, whether it was intentional or not. this is a really great one to help guide you through this in a really gentle way. Remember that we learn that nurturing aspect from that feminine energy, and so if there is kind of, maybe we had a mother that wasn't too affectionate or nurturing, maybe there was an absent mother, and so your ability to be caring and nurturing, and that mother to yourself, first of all, most importantly, to other people, including your own children, if that feels a little bit harder for you, then this is going to be a really great crystal as well. Now, am I just speaking to women? Absolutely not. As we all evolve, we want to have our feminine side and our masculine side balanced, and so this is really great for anyone who just sometimes is accused of or feels that they don't have a caring or nurturing side. They are accused of being cold or insensitive. Working with this crystal over time should start to warm those hard edges a little bit and just soften them so that you can show that nurturing side and nourishing side a little bit more. I wouldn't really classify peach moonstone as being a cleansing crystal per se, but it can resonate really beautifully with the Angel Haniel, Haniel. Now, Haniel is associated with the moon and also associated with the color peach. So you can see why this is a really great crystal for aligning with this angel. Now, when Haniel comes into our lives, it's often a sign that there is a need to cleanse in one way or another. Maybe we need to look at our diet and get a bit more plant-based, a bit more natural, a bit more one ingredient foods in our diet. Maybe there is too much emotion and we need to get rid of that emotion. Maybe there's too much mental chatter and too much going on in our mind and we need to settle that down. Or spiritually, maybe we need to remove some of the energies from our lives. Haniel works really well with a feather. If you can find yourself a white feather in an ethical way, don't go hurting any birds, of course, and brushing that over you, kind of like you would smudge. You don't even have to actually touch yourself. You can if you want, but feeling that as being an angelic cleansing. And while you're holding the feather, hold the crystal in your hand and work with those together. If you're not sure how to cleanse, or if you just feel that there's some toxicity or heaviness in your life, I would meditate with this crystal. I would do, either a guided meditation or your own meditation, inviting the Angel Haniel to appear before you or to communicate with you in some way. And remember, whenever working with angels, we always have to give them permission to help us out. So that's an important key in that. Give Haniel permission to help you cleanse and detoxify your life, whether that be getting guidance on what needs to be cleansed or how to actually cleanse. Crystals should never take the place of true medicines, but they can be a beautiful complementary energy because what they do is they work on the energetic level. That, if an energy continues to be present in your life, whether it's within you or around you, can end up manifesting into the physical. Moonstones, and particularly in peach moonstone, can be really great for supporting women with their reproductive cycle. So first of all, any woman that is trying to fall pregnant, this can be a really beautiful crystal to work with. Wearing it from the start of the new moon all the way up until the full moon and then making love on the full moon is a traditional way of using peach moonstone to help you fall pregnant. But you also want to look at the other aspects of your life about, are you eating well? Are you dropping your toxic load? And all those different types of things as well. Now, if a woman has any issues with her menstrual cycle or her moon cycle as well, this, because it's calming energy, can be a really great crystal to probably meditate with, popping it down low on your abdomen in the area where you do have the challenges, or keeping it in your pocket as well. This can also be a beautiful crystal to support girls that are having their first period, especially if they're feeling a bit shy and sheepish and uncomfortable about it. Giving this to them to hold as a comforter, popping it in their pocket or having it in their bedroom can be really nice for, again, allowing people to feel comfortable in uncomfortable situations. So if you want to become more in tune and more celebrating your moon cycle one way or another, rather than feeling betrayed by it, peach moonstone is absolutely beautiful. Our second chakra, known as the sacral chakra, resonates with the color orange. It's located just below our belly button and it's connected to our reproductive system for both women and for men. Now this, like all energy, can be overactive, underactive, or balanced. And when it's overactive, this is a really great crystal to work with. Now, how do we know if it's overactive? There are different ways of testing it. You can do muscle testing, you can use a pendulum. Check out my video here on YouTube that shows you how to do that. But if it is overactive, it's going to be a great crystal because of its soothing, nurturing energy. Another way you can tell if someone has an overactive sacral chakra, you've met these people. They're the oversharers. They're the people that you've just met and they've already told you how their husband's a jerk, their kids are annoying them, their boss, doesn't help them out at work, and all these different issues that they have. They've shown you this rash on their inner thigh, and it's like, sorry, what was your name again? They feel overly their boundaries are very thin and they feel really comfortable in intimate situations of being overly intimate. Now, if they don't connect with people in that way or rely on people for their fulfillment, then they may have other addictions. It could be food, it could be drinking, it could be smoking, it could be drugs, gambling, shopping, gaming, any of those kind of things where they're seeking pleasure outside of themselves. This is a really great crystal to support that and balance any of those attributes back, especially if you're a binge eater or a comfort eater. You want to reach for this crystal, keep this crystal around you, and start thinking about the emotions you're experiencing when you're wanting to eat food, and just bringing in that recognition that it's not my body asking for this food, it is my emotions. And how can we use Peach Moonstone to be part of my support in realizing that I'm eating not to nourish my body, but to nourish my emotions, and then to explore those emotions. And maybe there's some, inner mother work or different things we need to look at there as well. So if that is an issue, I've got books on chakras, I've got YouTube videos on chakras, there's lots of content out there. If you need to settle that chakra down, get your Peach Moonstone, pop it in your pocket, meditate with it on the sacral chakra, visualizing a soft orange color, but also do those steps that you need to do to bring that energy center into balance and harmony. If you've just got yourself a brand new Peach Moonstone, or you've been using it a lot recently, especially if you're using it for health and function of your reproductive system and you've been experiencing large amounts of pain, you're going to want to cleanse this. Now, the great thing about this crystal is with most lunar crystals, they need to be cleansed out in the full moon, and you've got to wait for that particular time of the lunar cycle. But because of its correspondence with the waxing moon, popping it out anytime between that new moon date and the full moon date is absolutely perfect for cleansing this crystal. So popping it outside and just leaving it out for the night is an amazing way to do that. And if you can't leave it outside, on a windowsill will be ample. Now, you can also bring in other aspects of nature as well. I love to work with essential oils. If you're working more with that kind of reproductive system, health and balance and that type of thing, clary sage is really great for helping to balance our hormones, whether you're a female or you're a male. So you can use clary sage aromatically, topically. You can even use brands like doTERRA and use it internally as well. Just remember that clary sage is not recommended for use if you are actually pregnant. We can also work with myrtle essential oil. Myrtle is very cleansing, very nurturing, very comforting, and another beautiful one to work with when working with the stone to bring more of that energy around. With these crystals, we can pop your tumbled Peach Moonstone into a diffuser and create a bit of a crystal cauldron by popping some of those oils in there as well. But you can also choose any other essential oils that you're drawn to as well. Now, animal-wise, I like to bring in the white-tailed black cockatoo. Here in Australia, we have many species of black cockatoos, but their tail feathers are one of three colours, either white, red, or yellow. And for me, this represents three different aspects of the feminine. White represents the virgin or the maiden, the young girl. Red is the mother who has her bleed, and then yellow is the crone or the wise woman who is integrated part of the solar energy, part of the masculine energy in with that yellow feather as well. The white-tailed black cockatoo really has this kind of maiden energy and this soft, gentle, nurturing energy that kind of beautifully resonates with this crystal. So you can call upon that animal, hear that animal's calls. There's beautiful recordings of it. However you want to integrate animal wisdom in with your crystal work. I love to hear how people do it. Share it down below. Obviously, when we're looking at astrology, this resonates beautifully with the moon. You could also look at working with it with the asteroid Eros, which is about what turns us on and what arouses us. Tugtapite is a really fiery crystal for those that are turned on by that more fiery, passionate energy. But some of us are actually more aroused by more caring and nurturing energy. And when that be the case, Peach Moonstone is absolutely fabulous for bringing that energy in. The power day for the moon, of course, is Moon Day or Monday. So that is the best day to be working with all your moonstones, including your Peach Moonstone. But remember, The insights that I've given you are just mine personally, and I'd love to know, how do you work with this crystal? Please share with our crystal loving community and leave a comment in the section below. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I'm Adam Barralet. Blessed be.